Alright, here we go with some Bant Knightfall, and this is a keeper. This hand's pretty decent. All told, we have the turn 1 Hierarch into the turn 2 whatever. We don't have the fetch lands to make the knights really big, but even if he goes a Hierarch, we can Selfless Spirit after that. Oh, Merfolk. Ooh. Huh. Oh, that's going to suck if you're Merfolk. We just casually went on turn 3. Oh, actually, no. We're going to see how much damage we can do here. We're going to find out. I don't know if it's enough. This is a great start, though, on the play. Have the turn 2 knight, have the turn 3 retreat. It's probably enough. I don't think he can really interact with it. It's a cool art. Well, now he can. Now it gets risky to go for it. Oh. I see. In our draw step. I say when he's representing removal, it's actually really risky to try it because you can get blown up pretty hard. In this case, I think we don't even do this. I think we just. Well, I mean, do I need to? I can get rid of the planes. Yeah, there's no reason not to. Alright, because we just fetch out another planes, we play another knight. Yeah, this is fine. It's unfortunate this is going to be on 2. It's going to be on 2 next time, so I'm going to get the forest. I could cast a Vendilion Click. That doesn't matter, though. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Ooh, almost clicked the wrong thing there. Get our knight out here. It's sort of unfortunate because our opponent now he'll have 2 on it, and it could be Tidebinder, or he's spirits. I see. I assumed it was Merfolk. Well, this makes things a little better because it could have been a Harbinger of the Tides, which makes going in on the night retreat combo super risky. If it's not those things, things get a lot better for us. This is good. If he taps out, he's just dead. Yeah, I think he's just dead. He gets in for 3 damage, 4 damage. It's a bunch of damage. Not enough damage. He might have enough toughness to not die. We'll see. We're going to have to do a bunch of math and stuff. Untap this guy. Yes. Fetch. So I need to not screw this up like I did before. So we're going to get a Temple Garden. And we're going to pay 2 life. We're going to hold priority. We're going to tap down his creature. Alright, now we're going to add green to our pool. We're going to sacrifice this. We're going to get this Windswept Teeth. Oh, we can make mana with this too, can't we? Sweet. Right, so we're going to choose this thing. We're going to hold that. We're going to add some more mana. Yep, we're going to untap it. We're going to fetch. We're going to get the Hallowed Fountain put into play. How much damage are we going to be able to do here? It's a question I don't want to... Okay, we have to math. Okay, so we have 2 left we can get out of our deck. So it's another fetch land. So this will go to the graveyard, then a fetch land will go to the graveyard, then a stomping arm will go to the graveyard, which will make this thing an 11/11. It's actually not going to be lethal. So I don't think I want to pay 2 life. I don't think there's a way to make it lethal. Okay, so now we'll get rid of this. Alright, so yeah, so all we have left to pull out of our deck is the Stomping Ground and the Kessig Wolf Run. So yeah, he's at 9/9 right now. Throwing this away makes him a 10/10. Throwing this away makes him an 11/11. This adds the red and the green and the tap, leaving us 1/2. I don't think we can get to lethal, so we're not going to try. Yeah, it's actually like... It's actually annoying because he has a lot of damage on the swing back. And we can't even present lethal to make him chump block. We could die. Huh. It's annoying. But we could also not die based on how we play our triggers here and mana off of our hierarch. So maybe we are taking the wrong tack here. And we don't want to try to go lethal on him because we can't. We just want to make mana with our hierarch and play out the rest of our hand. I think we're going to go with that plan. So I think that I'm going to say no here, because next we're just going to swing for our 11 or whatever, and the next turn we'll go get the wolf run while we can still that way have red mana. Right now we have access to, if we did pay the life, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is enough to play both of these, which is pretty good. But we don't, because we wouldn't have the right colors. So I do want to play them both, though. This has been much more complicated than I expected on this particular board state. We could throw away our Temple Garden next, so I'm not going to pay 2 life on this, but I am going to keep going. Because we can use this to throw away the breeding pool. Let's go ahead and add our next blue mana. Let's go ahead and do this first. Let's look at his hand. Let's figure out if we're dead. No. We'll get rid of his rattle chains. Now we'll throw away the breeding pool here. Get a Misty Rainforest. Untap this guy. Add white, play the Selfless Spirit. Crack this, get the island. Use that to untap our knight. swing for 12 just with our Giant Knight, and now his hand is a land and an unknown. Yeah, I think he's going to find... And now we have 2 flying blockers. So this seems like a way better plan than, trying to go crazy, making, Kessig Wolfram and trying to kill him. I don't know. I don't know if we would have had enough. I don't think so. We could have made a bunch of mana, may have been close, but I think with the block it wouldn't have been enough. So this, however, now we can just trade with his creatures. And his hand is mediocre. Well, I mean, his hand might be good, actually, but his hand, we took away a gas card. And we can just trade with his creatures. And still have our 12/12. And we have another Vendilion Click for next turn. And now we do, yeah, he's got to go dig in here. Say he needs a path or something. Wanderer, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. He can bolster here. If his other card is Path, we're in trouble. In fact, dead, but it's not. Okay. Now we can use this to get the wolf run and kill him. If he lets us move to blockers, okay, we're fine. Block like this. Sack this. Make this guy indestructible. Take this thing off the table, take 3. Alright, now I think we see if the way is clear. Yeah. Oh, do we have enough mana to do that? Well, if the way's clear, then it doesn't matter. We'll just... I'm trying to think. Because we can't wolf run and see his hand. But if his hand was good, he would have just killed us. I think that's how we have to look at it, and therefore we should just go for it. Yeah. I think that's what we have to do. Alright, get our Kessig Wolf run. Untap our guy. I guess even if this doesn't work, we're actually not dead, so... Yeah, if this doesn't... I mean, if it doesn't work, we're probably dead anyways. We're probably dead, but... We're technically not dead. At least we could block, chomp, or chomp block. Okay, we got there. I don't know if we played perfectly at all, but we played well enough and I think made the right decisions. Usually you can just make this guy big enough to kill people. In this case, we could not because the fact he had a blocker. I mean, he's at 23 life, and but we got there in the end. That's what matters. Okay, so Bant Spirits, huh? Bet Worship's pretty good. This is very good. Good. Probably not good. Good. Alright, so let's see here. This is good. I think we don't need a combo as hard. Honestly, he has Path. I guess Spellskite's okay. Scavenging News is not very good. Sure. Thanks, Magic Online. Alright, we can cut a Mana Dork. We just no scoozes. These are pretty bad. Alright, there's a deck. Do we want a Scavenging Ooze over one of these other cards? Do we want 2 Worships in our deck? His deck has a hard time. I mean, we have a lot of creatures in his deck who doesn't have board wipes, so Worship's great, so I'm kind of fine just having 2 of them. I don't think there's much he can do about it. The Fairgrounds Warden is maybe one of the weaker ones. The Blessed Alliance, I think, is good, though. I think our deck can do a lot with it. Everything else here is good. And is Tarmogoyf worse than Scavenging Ooze? I mean, it may be. It's not going to be big a lot of the time, where Scavenging Ooze could be great in the late game. This is just a beater. It's going to be 3 power to get through Spell Quellers. This is very good. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just want one of those. I mean, the thing is, it's great against Mausoleum. Well, it's good. It's great against. Maybe it's better on the play. So it's great against Mausoleum Wanderer. It's very good against Selfless Spirit, Mana Dorks, but he's just blue-white though, huh? He's not Bant Spirits, so maybe on the play it's better. So maybe just one of them here. Interesting that just the blue-white version of the deck presents some different options than playing against the Bant version. Keeping this though. Hand's not insane, but we get a turn ahead and with the birds, and we have a collect company. So we didn't outright win the game there with our combo, but we did win the game. And the combo did have quite a bit to do with it. Excuse me. Drawing the retreat here is pretty good. I like that. Like you said, you have to respect it. Even if it's not how we win, they have to respect it. Alright, there's Selfless Spirit. It's a path, okay. So what do we play here? Do we play the retreat? Or do we play this tapped and just play Spellskite or Tarmogoyf? Probably just play this tapped and play Tarmogoyf and start our beatdown as soon as possible. Yeah. I mean, maybe there's an argument for, I say, well, start our beatdowns, we play 1-2, but I think by our next turn it'll be a little bigger. So we can pass something to make it. Yeah, I think this is just the right play. You know, he's tagging us in the air. We need to do something to, you know, be able to do something on board, considering the fact that we're going to be hopefully casting Collected Company here. So we'll attack. I don't expect him to block if he were to, you know, Spell Queller or whatever. But yeah, now we can just fetch out Plains at the end of the turn and Collected Company him. Or if he does this, I think I'm going to Company now. You know, it's usually not when you do it. However, the appeal of playing around Spell Queller is very strong. So we're going to Company now. I guess we could get Dispelled or whatever. Okay, Knight and Tarmogoyf it is. I'm sort of tempted to take a Noble for mana. No, it's not. Just kidding. We're just going to do this. All right. Sure. So now we have, as a matter of fact, now we have the Reliquary retreat to Coralhelm again. With a big board alongside it. Gonna path our knight. I was gonna dismember our knight. You gotta love that. 2 Tarmogoyfs on the field and they go after the Knight of the Reliquary instead. The 3/3 Knight of a Reliquary. That's why Tarmogoyf is good. In case you didn't know. Sure. Come on in, buddy. But yeah, he has to respect this. And as it turns out, we would have actually punished him because we have it. Now, if instead of playing this Tarmogoyf, we play this Spellskite, we could have protected this knight on that Company. But given that there was no guarantee we're ever going to resolve Company, if it gets a deck full of Spell Quellers, Mausoleum Wanderers, now there's a blowout. Wow. That was rough. I mean, I'm going to just play this now. Man, that was legitimately rough detention sphere. Really punished us for not playing that. Yeah, I mean, so the worship is good, though. you know, the silver lining, if there is one, is that it allows us to resolve his cards. It's very hard for him to beat, and apparently if his deck's full of Detention Spheres, it's not that hard. But and we only have one creature at the moment too. But you know, if the game drags out, this is good, and we get a chance to slip it under counter magic now. And he's playing Ranger of Eos. I don't understand. This gets Mausoleum Wanderers. So, I mean, that's a thing, actually. Yeah, sure. Temple Garden or Hallowed Fountain. Temple Garden's fine. Okay, well, now we're going to play this. We're going to get our Scry on here. I honestly don't even think we want that. We actually just want creatures. Do this the right way. I mean, it's sort of debatable what the right way is here, but this is the thing that allows us to path and redirect the Spellskite. So I think we're now hiding behind Worship. This game took a turn with that Detention Sphere. That Detention Sphere was great for him, and that Ranger of Eos is very good to reload. So I think we have an all-new plan now, and it's hide behind Worship, which is sort of a tenuous plan against this, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a lot of Mausoleum Wanderers. It's going to be pretty hard to resolve a Collected Company. But this has been known to stymie opponents for long periods of time, especially when their deck has blanks like that in it. Yep, we'll scry. We do get to enjoy this scrying. Yeah, it's a creature. We're keeping it. I guess that's what we're going with here. The great thing is too, with the Spellskite in play, it actually can protect as long as we have an island up, since you can damage. So yeah, we could pay ourselves to death. But as long as we have an island up, we can just redirect whatever would take out our worship to Spellskite. And we're getting beat down in the meantime, sure. Yeah, so maybe we don't tap that. Alright, we'll hit a Selfless Spirit here, I guess. Maybe we want to hit a Mausoleum Wanderer. I don't know. I mean, we're not killing his creatures. Although, maybe he's going to Wrath us and sack his Selfless Spirit to save his team when we want to get rid of it. This is only keeping us off Collected Company, and it's not even doing that, so we're going to hit this. There's some world in which just buys us more time, too, since these don't kill us as fast, even if you ignore the worship. Yeah, so we're so far away from killing him, but he's not doing anything, and we have a worship and a Spellskite and multiple creatures. So, and you know, if I guess there would be a world in which he has Wrath, Supreme Verdicts alongside his deck. Yeah, well, there's a target for Path to Exile lane later. If we draw, for instance, is it Staticaster, we'd want to path this and then start shooting down Mausoleum Wanderers. Any creature's a good draw. Alright, well, defense is up. He's got to dig out from under this. He has to find two answers to it. Or some sort of answer that hits it and not Spellskite, I guess. But realistically, it's just rough for him. Especially, well, we can't. Okay, so we're not going to ever be doing anything with that, but we can scry. Sure, that's a creature. And as a matter of fact, if save was something that would destroy worship, we redirect it to Spellskite and then sack Selfless Spirit to protect it. And just hide behind this thing forever. And he is now officially going to deck before us. Because I promise you, we won't be fetching. Damage can't kill you, but you can sure reduce your life to 0 by paying it. I guess clock is his out. And I don't want to F6 because I don't want to accidentally lose our worship. I don't think clock will be a problem. Get our always yield to this thing in. For those who can't see, there's an Aether Vial in the top right. That's at 3 counters. But that, you don't need to worry about that too much. Since I don't think it's going to be particularly relevant. So, I mean, we're in this state where every land we draw allows us to scry. He has dead draws in his deck. We have dead draws in our deck. But he can't kill us. And while we're a long way from killing him, we actually have the potential to kill him. We have to respond to this, though. If the Phantasmal Image resolves on the Drog Skull Captain, will no longer be able to target any of his spirits. I bet he chooses Fairground Warden so that he can get rid of our Spellskite. Or Ranger of Eos. I don't think that's good, though, assuming he just has more Mausoleum Wanderers to get. I mean, I guess he's got to play the board. Yeah. He can have all the Mausoleum Wanderers he wants, as far as I'm concerned. If he doesn't have outs to worship, he can't win. And, I mean, he has them all. It's certainly going to make the Collected Company hard to resolve, that's for sure. Hey, look, a knight. This is a great draw because now we can just cash in. What is this? Spellcaller? Oh gosh. Yep. Okay, so Spellcaller on the knight. That's fine. He still can't do anything, but I say if we resolve the knight, we can get Kessig Wolfrun, and all of a sudden any of our creatures are a threat. We'll just throw away our Temple Garden and go get a Kessig Wolfrun. I'm not going to path it on this end step because he actually could, try to, do something and flash in something and mess us up with Mausoleum Wanderers. But okay, now it looks like we are going to have to use the Spellskite to get rid of the Detention Sphere. Target worship, I agree. Oh, he's done this wrong. He has the path to hit our Spellskite, but I think you need to do this in the other order because I think we can still pay to change this target, which means it's just going to it's just going to fizzle, I think. I don't think I want a path. We can no longer hide behind our thing that much. Yeah, he messed that up. If he just pathed us first and then played this, we'd be dead. And as he realizes that, he scoops. So I'm just kind of it's too bad we don't get a third game there. I might have even scooped it because he just misclicked it. Yeah, I might have. I mean, I don't know. Like I didn't get a chance to process that, but I probably would have just scooped, moved on to a third game. We were gonna draw well here. Not that it matters. He should have won the game right there. Yeah. So that's kind of. I mean, that's too bad actually. I would have allowed that. If this game went on and he did not have those things, which and I guess since he scooped there, he only had 2 Detention Spheres in his deck. So, in in that sense, he drew well to have the path and the Detention Sphere on top of everything else. But He did have it and should have won that game. But assuming that doesn't happen, our plan for this game was to, not this turn, but next turn, path his Spell Queller, get back our Knight, go get our Wolf Run, and then just, hey, turn this Birds of Paradise into a giant creature, and then, hey, collect a company and turn this Birds of Paradise and more stuff into giant creatures. But yeah, that's the game. That works. It's too bad. I wish we could play a third one, but that's how it goes sometimes.